There's another level that all parents can understand, but we don't talk about it. And it's what we call cherishing our kids. It's when our feeling for them is so strong that it completely overwhelms us. It's when we go in and we look at them at night and they're sound asleep. And what happens is you get this lump in your throat. You find yourself standing looking down at your child and the tears are trickling down your cheeks. And all you can think is, there is nothing in this world that matters to me more in this minute than this child.
Kathy Lynn is well known across Canada as one of the best speakers on parenting issues in the country. Kathy is a trained and experienced parenting educator who has been a guest speaker on numerous television and radio talk shows. Parents, teachers, and healthcare professionals alike listen in as Kathy dispenses her practical advice for parents in an entertaining and engaging way.
The neighborhood or the community really saw all the children as their responsibility, and everybody helped. So our parents had people to talk to, they had people to help them, and they had seen other kids being raised, whereas today, very often, the first newborn you hold is your very own child.
Kathy's presentation style is open, accessible, and upbeat. She's most comfortable when she engages her audience with role plays, anecdotes, or questions from the audience as they come up. Kathy has several audiobooks on the market, which allows her audiences to listen at their leisure to her most popular workshops on tape. Kathy is an advisory board member as well as a parenting columnist for today's Parent Magazine. She also writes for today's Grandparent Magazine and BC Parent Magazine.
Well, kids are really angry today, I believe, because they're not being parented. You see, what I believe in the prime directive of parenting, with apologies to Jean-Luc Picard of the Starship Enterprise. What I believe is that every young that is born knows instinctively that they have the right to be raised and nurtured by whoever bore them. And so many children today, well, they've got a roof over their heads and they're wearing clothes and they have money. They're not getting the nurturing that they need. And instinctively, at a real gut level, they're very angry. And when they act out, it can sometimes be absolutely horrific.
Kathy has several keynote addresses and more than 6 different workshop topics, but she's careful to tailor her material to the specific needs of each group. That means your audience will get a presentation that addresses their specific issues, not a canned one-size-fits-all piece.
And so what a lot of parents are doing today is they're buying stuff. They're buying toys, they're buying clothes, they're buying trips, they're buying all kinds of things for these kids. And I've had parents say to me, well, what I do is because I can't spend much time with the kids, I buy them educational toys so that because they can't be learning from me, they can be learning from their toys. It doesn't work, you know. They know when they're being bought. They're also very savvy, and they won't say no to the stuff. I mean, they are little consumers, right? I mean, they live in our world. So they will collect the stuff, but it isn't what they want. So don't try to buy your kids, because what they want is you. And one time, I remember this other true story. This happened one year in early December. And there was a 16-year-old boy visiting at our house. He was a friend of my son's. And he was talking about the fact that he was getting a car for Christmas. The competition was pretty fierce. So he was getting a car for Christmas, and he was talking away about this car and how cool it was going to be, how much he was looking forward to it, how much fun that was going to be, and on and on and on. And then he paused and he said, I'm getting a car for Christmas because my father wants to go to the Bahamas with his girlfriend, and he doesn't want me to be upset that he won't be here. And then he paused again, and he said a little more quietly, but I heard him. He said, I frankly would rather he would just stay. Why can't he go on Boxing Day? So how does this boy feel about himself? Sure, he got a car. And sure, that makes him like a real big guy in high school. I mean, he just turned 16. He's got a car. This is too cool for words. But what did he want? He wanted his dad to care enough about him to stay home for Christmas. He wanted his dad to put being with him at Christmas a higher priority than being with his girlfriend at Christmas. It doesn't seem like it was too difficult a request. And how does a kid feel when they become second place to a girlfriend? What does that do to his self-esteem?
Oh, I've been to a number of Kathy's presentations. I have a great time when I come and listen to her. I find Kathy very positive. I find that she's just speaking to me directly, and it's very calm and practical ideas that she gives me, and it sure helps me day to day when I'm coping with my kids.
Well, we have 3 children, and sometimes it gets a little hectic and you're not sure that you're doing the right thing, and I think that coming to a session with Kathy, it refocuses and helps me to get organized in what I'm trying to do for our children.
I definitely can see myself using some of these words and some of these patterns, and now I know how to sort of change that way of speaking to, help little kids have more self-esteem.
I'm a teacher, and a lot of the ideas that Kathy talked about today are really helpful to me in the classroom, particularly related to giving kids the sense that they can do things and just using the language to instill that belief in them.
What we all want is successful children, and by successful I mean children with high self-esteem, who are reaching whatever their potential is, who are happy and productive. That's what we want for our kids.